Hi, Libra. So, this is your September astrological heads up. And this is for both the sun in Libra or the rising sign in Libra, or if you have your moon in Libra, you could check this one out too. So this is to have a look at all the astrological energy that we have around us through the month of September. How are you, Libra? I've been asking all the signs this because sometimes, we ask the question, don't we? But we don't wait for the answer. Well, I'm guessing that things have been a little bit challenging for you, Libra, because you've had Venus, our wonderful planet of love and relationship. This can also be the planet of how we value ourselves and of money. And you've had it retrograde in Leo in your 11th house. Now, this is the community at large. And I think that this may have been slowing you down in things you didn't particularly want to be slowed down in. And maybe with regard to getting something off the ground, getting something going. Well, the good news is that Venus goes direct on the 4th. That's going to really help. You're just going to feel a bit of a shift of the energies. Because I know that August has not been easy for a lot of the zodiac signs. The other interesting thing, and don't see this as a bad thing, and this is what I want to say, don't see retrogrades as bad. They sometimes can be very welcome breaks to give us a chance to breathe and collect our energies together. But we need to talk about Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet of luck and opportunity that you have in Taurus in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house is about your shared resources. It can also be the part of the chart that is connected with commitment to things, commitment to joint projects. It's also the house of secrets or things that are a little bit underhand. Because remember, traditionally, it's a Scorpio house, but in your chart, it's a Taurus house. This is good for you in the sense that you usually do quite well in benefiting from joint resources. Now, why I'm mentioning Jupiter today is because it goes retrograde, also on the 4th of September. But I want to say to you, don't worry about this. This may actually give you some breathing space to just kind of stand back, regroup, and think about your next moves. Because the other interesting news that could be helpful is that Mercury, our planet of communication, our planet that can snarl things up with events, with communication, with our technology, with our cars, with anything electronic. Mercury has been retrograde in Virgo. And this is your 12th house, which is the part of your chart that is where you can get quite frustrated on an inner level, where you want to break out. And it's like you've been having so many inner conversations with yourself, ruminating, overthinking, whilst Mercury has been retrograde. The good news is Mercury goes direct on the 15th. This will be super helpful, Libra. And I'll tell you why. Because everything that you've been going over and going back and forwards and looking at, now things will start to shift in regards to your own view or your way forward. It may be that these delays that you've experienced are timely. Maybe these delays have saved you from something that would have been costly. So try and take a step back and recognize that actually the cosmos is trying to be your friend. And this brings us in touch with some other energy, which I've mentioned to all the signs this month, which is about how we co-create with the universe, with the divine. Because it's like we have this primordial soup in front of us. We have our intentions. We have ideas about what we want to manifest. And sometimes, and though not necessarily with you, Libra, but sometimes we're too fixed about the outcome. Libra, you're more balanced. You usually can allow yourself to be more directional about the outcome. But that can still not always serve you well. And the key or the clue with working with the primordial soup is to say, okay, there we go, plop, there's my intention. Now, cosmos, divine, what do you want me to do to manifest what is best for me and what is best for the highest good? Because sometimes when something doesn't come our way that we've wanted or thought was good for us, we've actually been saved from something that wouldn't have been that good and would have perhaps caused us a lot of headaches. So not only does Mercury go direct on the 15th, which will be helpful, we've also got a new moon in this same part of your chart. This is Virgo. So this is a new moon where you are going to suddenly be able to see, crystallize somehow the details and see more clearly how things can unfold for you with whatever your projects, wishes, hopes. I know it's not the 11th house, but you know, astrology is there for us to bend and play with. We have to be creative. We have to think outside the rigid boundaries of the houses, of the house systems. So this new moon in Virgo is trined, which is helpful, by Uranus retrograde in Taurus in your 8th house. Uranus, remember, is the planet of shocks and the unexpected. Now, in your 8th house in Taurus, it may well have been bringing shocks, surprises. Some of them will be good, some not so good, but it'll all be to do with probably finance and joint resources. But it's trining the new moon. So I think from the 15th onwards, there are far more creative opportunities available for you to initiate and get things moving in the way that will be good for you. Let's just look a little bit further afield. In fact, only to the next day, the 16th, because from the 16th and really from the 15th and a bit before, our primordial soup is host to what we call a grand earth trine. This is super cool. So visualize it. We have the sun in Virgo in your 12th house. That's at about 9 o'clock. Then we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Pluto, remember, is our planet of transformation, change. And Pluto in Capricorn is in the 4th house. That's down here at the bottom of the chart, in home and family. And that really is mostly about how your family support you. Uranus, remember, in Taurus is in the 8th. So we have this grand Earth trine. Earth, good, puts down foundations, helpful for roots to grow with anything you're trying to manifest. This energy lasts for quite a few days, so make the most of it. And we have the help of not only fixed energy that can fix something in place with Uranus in Taurus, even though Uranus is not comfortable in Taurus, don't worry about that. You've also got Pluto in the 4th. Pluto in Capricorn is cardinal. Pluto itself as a planet is a fixed planet because it rules Scorpio. But Capricorn is a powerful sign. And things are moving within the home setup and family. The Sun in Virgo in the 12th house is you really waking up, refreshed, renewed from taking a break, because hopefully you'll watch this before the 16th of September. Because I'm recording this on the 23rd of August, which is the day Mercury goes retrograde. You need to take time out, Libra. So if you're watching this as soon as it's been uploaded, which will be round about the 25th, 26th, then just chill for a while. Because then on the 23rd, we've got the autumn equinox. Now this is when that small kind of ball that's been rolling down that hill a bit slowly starts to gather pace. Things will start to move more quickly, Libra, because the autumn equinox is when the sun enters your sign, your birth sign, the 1st house. This will be you coming into your own, into the light, and feeling somehow that you are back in charge of the particular boat that you are sailing, or horse you are riding, or I don't know, huge aeroplane, you're an air sign, that you are flying. So Venus, that's now direct in Leo, in your 11th house of higher consciousness, but it's also your hopes and your wishes. It's making a really helpful aspect, a trine aspect, to Chiron. Chiron is our wounded healer. Chiron is the asteroid. Retrograde in Aries, which is your 7th house of significant relationships. If things have been a little bit sticky over the last few weeks with significant relationships in your life, maybe with loved ones, with your other half, if you have one, all of that kind of stuff, friends, business partners, this Venus energy going direct will help heal some of the scabs that have been picked off whilst we've been through some challenging times in August. Finally, let's come to the 29th of September, where we have our full moon in Aries in your 7th house of significant relationships. So remember, Venus is in Leo in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, projects, dreams, anything you want to get out there to the public arena. Venus is squaring Uranus when this full moon happens. Retrograde in Taurus in that 8th house. This is the 29th of September. So what Venus is doing here is saying, slow down. I know it's direct, but it's still in its shadow. This is something to do with joint resources or money that you have to lay out for something. Don't rush into it. This full moon is saying something needs to close, to finish, before you start opening up something new. So these points I will be going into in greater depth when I go through the individual heads up as the month goes on, and when I do the autumn equinox, the full moon, the grand earth trine, the new moon. So you will get all that information in more detail as we go through September. So you've probably noticed I've decided to do a completely different way of doing these videos again. I decided my palm flashing at the camera every few seconds perhaps wasn't the most attractive feature of my divine goddess-like figure, she jokes to herself. So Libra, your ruling planet Venus, so I'm just associating myself with Venus. We mustn't forget, Venus is your friend. That's quite important to remember. So use Venus to help you. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So this is a new format again. It's always good to change. Remember, everything that you're intending in that primordial soup, remember, it's always good to get a different perspective on things. Old ways, if they're not working or they just seem a bit tired, change them, recreate, create something new. And that way, then we get the results and the benefits. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me for your September astrology. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all those amazing things. Thank you so much for all the support you give me. It means a lot. And on that note, I'll say ciao for now, and I will be back again soon. Bye for now.